what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our November reset. I have a hot latte. That's how you know we're going into the deep fall, getting closer to winter. I'm making hot drinks now. I'm feeling ready to sit down and have ourselves a good old monthly reset. We're going to be talking about October, my favorites, my highs, my lows, talking about November, our goals for November, a little bit of budget, some content planning. You know the drill if you've been around here for a while. I've been doing resets since the very beginning of my channel. I just think life goes by so fast. The older I'm getting, I feel like the faster life is going by. I think it's because we don't have these like huge milestones to look forward to anymore. Hello. And I really like a reset for the purpose of reflection and talking about where you are in your life right this second, because next week it could look completely different. If you are new here, some quick background about me. I am 27. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina with my husband, my dog, my cat who just made his appearance. He'll probably be sitting next to me this whole video. I work from home as a data analyst, and my channel is just a little bit of everything. It's getting through our later 20s. We talk everything that kind of comes with that, from finances to goals, career, hobbies. We talk about everything over here. So if you like content like that, make sure that you subscribe and stick around. This will be my last reset of 2025 because next month I'm going to be thinking about 2026, which is crazy to say. So with that, let's just hop right into it. I've got my computer down here. If I'm looking down, it's because I have all my goals and everything. I always like to start these off with our previous month high and low. So my low for October, very obvious if you've been watching the vlogs. I had a surgery on September 29th. It was a cardiac procedure. That kind of made my first 2 weeks of October pretty low, I would say. I feel like I've been down bad for most of September, October. One of my worst qualities as a person, I will admit it, is patience. I am not the most patient person on this earth. I was really forced to slow down and rest due to having surgery, and that was just tough for me. I kind of felt like my life had been on pause for a while, and I was really forced to slow down, which left me feeling kind of restless. It's hard when mentally you feel okay and you want to kind of keep going, pedal to the metal, but your body will not allow you to do that. So that was definitely my low for October, just kind of having to take it slow, and it made me feel like I wasn't getting a lot done. But at the end of the day, it was for my health, for the bigger picture, and it was very important. But honestly, that kind of led me to a high. I feel like when I was able to get back into my routine, it had me feeling more motivated than ever. I talked about this in my last vlog, but nothing motivates you more than not being able to do what you want to do. It's such a reminder of how lucky we are to have our bodies, to have our health. There are so many people in this world who can't exercise, can't be super productive, maybe for health issues. So experiencing that really led me to feeling motivated and wanting to get back to things quickly. So after my little down bad season has kind of led to this really highly motivated season, which is kind of a high for October. My low and high are very correlated for October. One more high for October. Again, this was in my last vlog, but I went to New York with 5 of my girlfriends. We try to do a girls trip every year, whether that's going to a new place or just visiting a city that one of us lives in. So we went to New York. I got to see where my friends who I had met in Charlotte now live their new life, and it's always good to have some girl time. Female friendship is so important because it provides you things different than if you're in a relationship, your relationship provides you. It's something that I will always cherish. Anyone else cats just come up and bite them? That's really ridiculous, sir. You're not feeling sweet right now. We're feeling evil. Okay, that kind of hurts. I'm done. You're canceled. What I'm looking forward to in November, I feel like I have a lot to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to just the cozy season. To me, November is kind of the last month of fall, and I'm looking forward to embracing it, embracing the coziness, embracing the fall weather, hopefully. More specifically, one thing I am definitely looking forward to, I'm going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina for a weekend. That's where I went to college. I've never taken my husband. He's never seen the campus, and I'm pretty excited to go and just kind of show him like where I lived, where I worked, where I went out to the bars. I'm just really excited to show him that part of me. It's so weird. He didn't know me, and like honestly didn't know me the majority of my life, and so much of my life that shaped me because we met after college. And I'm just excited to show him. It's always exciting to show somebody a big chunk of your life. And I'm gonna vlog that weekend, and I'm looking forward to that vlog as well. I don't think I've ever vlogged a Chapel Hill weekend because I also started my YouTube channel after college. So such big chunks of my life that are missing. I skipped goal setting for September and October. I set goals when I feel like it. That's like the best thing I have found for myself. Some months I don't feel like setting goals. These days, like I said, I feel like time goes by so fast. It's a new month before I know it, every single month. But I did set some for November because, like I said, I'm kind of coming out of my down bad season and moving into a much more motivated, productive season. I am wanting to do a winter lock-in where for the winter, I really focus in on my health and fitness. And a lot of these goals reflect that. To me, December and January and February are really like hibernation season. It's so cold here in North Carolina that you can't really do much. You can't go outside. And I think a lot of people suffer with seasonal depression during this time. So I'm really trying to combat that by being on a really good routine, focusing on my health and fitness. That way, when March comes around and we're defrosting and spring is coming, we are like the best versions of ourselves. So November to me is like the prepare to hibernate month. We know it's coming, but fall is still here. We're still enjoying fall. We see the winter on the horizon, and I really want to just start creating routine and building good habits that will carry me through the winter. I also am playing with doing my goals in Notion for next year, so I did them in Notion for this month, and I think I like how they look. Starting with my personal goals for November, the first one is no phone after 8 p.m. It is scientifically proven that looking at your phone before bed is bad for you and does not help with your sleep. And it's something that I struggle with for sure. I will lay in bed, oh, I'm just gonna quickly scroll on TikTok, and you end up scrolling for an hour or more. And that is something that I'm trying to prevent. It's something I'm trying to work on for my winter lock-in. I want to have really good sleep so that I feel good every single day waking up. No phone after 8 p.m. Instead, I want to have a good evening routine that involves drinking tea, reading books. Speaking of reading books, I want to read 2 books this month. My goal for the year was 20 books, and I'm reading number 17 right now. So if I finish this book and read 1 more book, then I would only need to read 2 books in December and we would hit our goal for the year. I wasn't sure I was gonna hit it, but I've been on my reading game lately. I feel like 2 is kind of my max for a month because I feel like if I rush through books too much, they kind of all start to blend together in my head. I wanna give every single book proper attention and properly digest the book before jumping over to the next one. So for me, 2 books is a good number for a month. On a similar note to no phone after 8 p.m., I want to continue my social media free Sundays. It's something I started last month and I've been loving it. Sundays have quickly become like one of my favorite days of the week. It's such a productive day, but also a relaxing day because I have so much more time in the day when I do not allow myself to look at social media. You guys know I love a Sunday reset. It usually involves some kind of cleaning. When I'm not looking at my phone, I can knock that out in like 2 hours. And then I have the rest of the day to relax, read, prepare for my work week. So we're gonna continue on our social media free Sundays into November. I'm very conscious of my social media usage. I don't think it's good for us. I want to create more than I consume. It's something that's kind of always in the back of my head that I want to work on. And lastly, for personal, I want to have a scheduled rot day in November. As much as I am like, I want to be productive, I want to get things done. That is definitely my personality type. I know the benefits of balance and relaxing. I am going to pick a day or even an afternoon this month that I say I'm going to lay on my couch and watch a movie or do something that is not productive, especially going into the winter and jumping into these routines and my fitness. I don't want to burn myself out too early, so we need to make sure we are scheduling time to rot and to relax. Wellness goals, number 1, I've kind of discussed, but focus on building habits and start our winter arc, winter lock-in. I actually created a habit tracker here on my Notion that I want to try to use, which I'm sure I will show you guys in a future vlog, but I want to track my daily little habits that I'm trying to do to create these good winter routines. One thing that's on that habit tracker that I'm also setting as a goal is wake up every morning at 7 a.m. When I say every morning, I do just mean the weekdays, Monday through Friday. For some people, I'm sure 7 a.m. is not early at all, but as someone who loves my sleep and is someone who can sleep really late, if I let myself, I can sleep till 11 a.m. 7 a.m. is a good time for me. I don't really need to be logged in for work until 8:30-ish. So 7 allows me to wake up, do my skincare, make my bed, and go on like a 30 to 45 minute walk before I come back and get logged in for work. So for me, 7 a.m. is perfect. I do think eventually I might try to crank that up to 6:30 so that I could add in some other habits like journaling. We have to ease our way into it as someone who previously was rolling out of bed at 8 and logging in for work. We're easing our way into trying to become a morning person. Having time to yourself before work is so important, and I do think that is something that will help me as the winter months come to beat that seasonal depression, having a good morning routine. Cook dinner at home 6 nights a week. I feel like that's probably our average, honestly, but I'm just setting it as a goal, as a reminder. This allows us either Friday night or Saturday night to go out with our friends, go out to dinner, go on a date night. Eating at home allows us to eat healthier food, have a lot more control over our diet. Also, it's good financially to eat at home. So I want to really prioritize that in the month of November. I will say we do travel for Thanksgiving because our families do not live here. So that week might be a little bit of a bust with this one. I'm still gonna try our best. And last thing, I put on wellness because it's something I want to, again, kind of get into my routine. I want to start having tea every night before bed. Tea is really good for you for a lot of reasons, but certain types of tea are proven to help you sleep. So I want to do some research on that. I know lemon balm, chamomile, these teas are good for sleep, good for digestion. So it's something I want to bring in my routine because I think it's a really relaxing thing to have before bed. So clearly November, I have a lot of health and wellness on my mind. Want to get into really good routines that will carry us through the winter. Let's talk about our financial goals for November. My first financial goal for the month is to invest $1,166. I know that's an extremely specific number, but that is the amount that can go into our Roth IRAs per month that leads to it being maxed out for the year. They are not going to be maxed out this year, but the goal is to max them out next year. So we're kind of like practicing what that would look like in our monthly budget to max that out. We've been doing this for the past few months, but goal for November is to put in that max amount. So $1,166 of investing for November. Second financial goal is to track my weekly spending. You guys know I'm great about this. I love tracking my spending, and we're going to keep that going into November. Next, I want to put our rent money into our savings account. We just re-signed our lease and we get a month free. So we get November free, no rent. But I don't want to just be like, woohoo, we have an extra $3,000, let's go spend this on something. I want to save it. So it's going to be going into our high yield savings account. Basically November 1st, instead of paying rent, I'm going to put the rent into our savings account. Besides those two goals, I don't have any other savings goals for November because my last goal I need to start buying for Christmas. So the majority of money that we have left over that I would usually again put into savings, we are going to be buying Christmas presents with it. I know a lot of people kind of think ahead for Christmas and save money monthly for gifts, which is something I would maybe consider in the future, but for now, the past couple years, it's been working out for me that November, December, I just put a larger chunk of my savings budget that I would usually save into my gift fund, and that's what we're going to do this year. That's what works for us. I tend to put off my Christmas shopping because I don't want to spend the money. I'm setting it a goal. We need to start buying gifts in November so that we can spread out the total cost between our November and our December budget. I set one career goal, but this could kind of also be as a personal goal. I have planned my 2026 goals and vision. I put this under career because I will probably be setting some personal career goals through my job, but also just in general, I want to start a Pinterest board. I want to start thinking about my 2026 goals, which might sound early to some, but I love a new year. I love a reason to set new goals and to prepare for a year. So I made that a goal for November. And my last goal section, social media goals. I told you guys I was going to be taking some time off in October because my surgery. So I did. I only posted 4 videos, which my goal for every month usually is around 8 videos. Between 6 and 8, I would say, depending on what I have going on. So I did kind of took some time off. I just posted some more slow-paced vlogs, picking up the camera when I felt like it. So my goal for November is to post 6 YouTube videos. I don't want to jump straight from 4 to 8, just because, like I said, same with my morning routine. I gotta work my way back into it. So the goal for November will be 6, and then December, hopefully we will get that back up to 8. And then for short form content, I have my goal to post an average of 4 times a week on TikTok. Low key, I'm trying to make that higher. I'm trying to post every single day on TikTok, but I will be happy if I average out to 4 times a week. As someone who does work a full-time job, is a long distance friend, a long distance daughter, so I do a lot of traveling to see my people. I do YouTube. It's hard to do all of it. I feel like the best way for me to describe social media, it's not difficult, it's just time consuming. Editing takes a lot of time. We're all trying to do everything, right? I'm trying to work a job, I'm trying to be healthy, I'm trying to work out, I'm trying to see friends, see family, and then to put social media on top of it, it is difficult to do. So I try to give myself a lot of grace, and 4 times a week average posting for TikTok I will be happy with. Speaking of content, let's talk about my YouTube videos for the month of November. How I usually plan out my videos, I try to plan about a month in advance. I will look at my calendar that I have coming up. Obviously, if we have travel, that affects my vlogging schedule. If I have events, whatever I have going on, that all affects my schedule. So for November, we have obviously my November reset. You are watching it right now, hoping to get this up November 1st. Next week, I'm gonna do a little vlog kind of focusing on my winter lock-in. So showing my morning routine, showing my workout. Then we're gonna have a Chapel Hill weekend vlog, taking you guys with me to my college town. I always try to do one work-related video and one financial-related video every single month. So for my work-related video, I'm gonna be doing a work day in my life with timestamps. I've done that before, where I take you into a little bit more detail into what I'm actually doing at work on a daily basis and my routine. Work day in my life. If you guys have anything, any particular topics you think you would like me to touch on in that video, definitely let me know. And then I'm gonna do another just kind of few days in my life vlog. Again, most likely it'll be focused on my winter lock-in, my routines. And lastly, like I said, I like to do a financial video. I'm going to do a what I spend in a week video. I'm really excited about our November videos. I feel like they are really well-rounded, and I feel like these just describe my channel perfectly. We love resetting, goal setting. We love health and fitness, locking in for winter. I like to travel. I want to travel a lot more next year. We have a work vlog and we have a what I spend vlog. I always say my channel is a little bit of everything, and I think November is the perfect example of that. I'm ready to get back into budgeting. I've been tracking our expenses for a few months now, and I feel like I'm slowly starting to figure out what our monthly costs are as a married couple. So I thought I could give you guys a sneak peek of our budget. Starting with our bills, our rent is about $2,900. Like I told you guys, I will be putting that into savings, but I'm gonna leave it in the budget as rent. Electric, this is a bill that I never paid before we got married. It kind of ranges. Sometimes it's like $175 a month. Sometimes it's $140. It honestly is a pretty big range, but I just budget $150 because I feel like that's somewhere in the middle. Car insurance is $140. Phone is $99. Pet insurance, before I was only paying for Franklin's pet insurance. Now we obviously have both. So for both of our pet insurances, we are paying $105.48 a month. And our Wi-Fi, another bill I was not paying before, $90.29. We don't have like the lowest Wi-Fi. We don't have the highest. We have one in the middle because I do work from home. I can't really have issues with my Wi-Fi. So we do have like a slightly upgraded Wi-Fi plan. For our savings, like I said, I want to invest $1,166 this month. So we have $583 going into both my Roth IRA and my husband's Roth IRA for the month. And for our expenses, groceries, I have been budgeting $800 a month. I'll be honest, we have gone over this every single month that I have budgeted $800. So I'm kind of deciding if I need to increase this to more like $1,000 a month. As you know, we do eat, I would say like 85% of the time at home. So I don't know if that's why our grocery budget is so high. I don't know if it's because I am kind of looping in at the grocery store. You know, we buy toilet paper, we buy paper towels, all those things often kind of get grouped in with groceries. If we need body wash, a lot of this stuff we will just pick up at the grocery store. So still kind of figuring out how I'm going to do that for 2026. I'm debating combining groceries and toiletries, these two line items together next year. We will see. So I have $800 for groceries. We usually go over that. I have $75 for toiletries. This is supposed to be, if we go buy toilet paper, paper towels, it's supposed to go in that category, but because we end up buying them all together, I feel like it kind of all goes into groceries. For home, I'm budgeting $0. We don't really need anything for our apartment. I just like to keep this in the budget because sometimes we do need some new stuff. For car, I'm budgeting $75. This is for gas. We actually did a lot for our car in October. We spent like $300 on the car in October because I needed an oil change. We had to change a fuel pump or something, I don't know. So since everything's kind of in order with the car, $75 should be good just for gas for the month. Health and medical, I budgeted $200. I have a medical bill that I'm paying about $100 a month on right now. So I have that $100 bill, and then plus if we have any other appointments, I'm just budgeting another $100 for that. So $200 for health and medical. Pets, I'm budgeting $200. This is for Franklin's dog food, and we'll likely have to buy cat food as well. This is another example. We buy our cat litter at the grocery store. So again, I feel like it just gets clumped in with groceries because I don't look at our receipts and kind of break things out by line item. So that's another kind of good example of why I think we go over the grocery budget a lot. lot. Dining out and bars, I'm gonna budget $400. We spent $296 in October, so this is probably a little high, but I rather give us some wiggle room. Coffee, I budget $60. This is enough for us to go to a coffee shop once a week on top of me buying my coffee beans. My coffee beans are usually about $20 a month, so that leaves about $40 a month for us to go to the coffee shop and just grab coffees about once a week. I love a coffee shop. I will always have that in my budget. Beauty, I'm budgeting $250. This is for my nails, and I'm debating getting a facial in November. I haven't scheduled it yet, but I'm putting it in the budget because it's been a while since I've gotten a facial and I kind of feel like I need some extractions. I need some love on my face. Travel, I'm budgeting $600. Any expenses that we accrue in Chapel Hill that weekend will go into this category, whether it's Ubers, food, whatever. I'm just gonna lump it all into the travel category. Anything we don't spend of that $600, because I don't think we'll spend $600 for the weekend, will go into our savings account that we will use on future travel. Uber and Lyft, I budget $50 a month. Sometimes Will Ubers to work because we share a car. So usually allow about $50 a month for that. Social activities, $50. This is if we buy tickets or go and do something. In October on social activities, we spent a lot more than normal. We spent $150 because I bought tickets to the UNC football game and I also bought Jonas Brothers concert tickets. So we did spend a little bit more than normal on social activities in October. Gifts and donations, this is the big boy. I'm budgeting $1,000. I have a friend who has a baby shower coming up. I need to get her a gift for that. And then Christmas, like I said, we're gonna start our Christmas shopping in the month of November. So I just put $1,000 on gifts for the month. Taxes, I do budget $175, which is about 30% of what I make. I make on average $500 a month from YouTube, and I always put 30% of that into a savings account to pay the government later on. And shopping miscellaneous, $200. This is things that I don't know how to categorize. I throw them into shopping miscellaneous. This will be if I buy clothes. If I do a newly for the month of November, it will go into shopping miscellaneous. So our total expenses that we are budgeting are $4,135. Between the bills, expenses, and savings, we're at $8,786. This was just kind of a little sneak peek of what I'm working with. I feel like I usually do not ask for feedback on our expenses, but I am curious if you want to share what's your grocery budget, kind of how do you do that. If you're in a couple, feel free to let me know. This is what we're working with for now. I feel like we are in a pretty good place with the budget, and I'm excited to set up my new budget for 2026 and share all of that with you guys in the next few months. And lastly, I want to talk about my October favorites. Thought I would save this for the end because I know not everybody cares about this. I just love this because I love to reflect. Life goes by way too fast to not kind of have some notes and some memories of your random month, October 2025. Movies and TV, Dancing with the Stars. This is my first season watching it and I'm loving it. What brought me to it was The Mormon Wives. I really enjoy that show and I enjoy following them on TikTok. So I've really been loving Dancing with the Stars. My top three are definitely Whitney, Alex Earl, and Robert. I think Robert is adorable. I think Alex has improved a ton and I think Whitney is just such a good performer. Other one that I watched in October that was really entertaining, Love is Blind Denver. They were a hot mess. This season was a hot mess, but a hot mess makes for great TV. I actually need to watch the reunion. I think it just got dropped this week. So definitely gonna be watching that very soon. If you can't tell, I really love like reality style TV. That's the majority of what I watch. Music, Taylor Swift dropped an album this month. The Life of a Showgirl. I really like it. I think it's a fun, upbeat album. My favorite three are Father Figure, Actually Romantic, and The Fate of Ophelia. I do think The Fate of Ophelia is gonna get a little overplayed in my head, but I do like the song. It's just gonna get overplayed. I think it was a fun album. It's not folklore, it's not Evermore. I get that, but it is exactly what she said it is. It's just kind of upbeat, fun, and I liked it. For books, I feel like I talk so much about this stuff if you watch my vlogs, but this is just kind of a wrap up. I read 2 books. I read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a which was a self-help book. I like to read self-help books every once in a while just to bring me back down to earth, you know? I think it had a lot of really good points in it. One of the biggest points that I took away is that happiness is a journey, it's not a destination. And I really like that. We have to find happiness in our day-to-day life, our day-to-day problems. If you're always waiting for that destination, you're never gonna be happy. As soon as you get to that destination, you're gonna set a new destination. So you really have to learn to enjoy the ride, not just the destination. One Dark Window was a fantasy that I read in October. I'm currently reading the second book in the series. I really enjoyed it. It's a very unique magic system. It's a dark magic system. Something that I had never read before, which I really, really liked because I do feel like a lot of fantasy, all the tropes are the same. and they kind of start to blend together for me. But this one actually really stood out as a unique book. I don't think there was a single moment in this book where I was bored. I liked that it was pretty fast paced. So if you haven't read that and you like fantasy, I definitely suggest. I wouldn't say it's a spicy book though. I don't even know if there was any spice. Oh wait, there was one spicy scene, I think, but it's pretty minimal. So if you don't really like spice, I think you'll like the book still because there's not that much of it. I love spice. So like to me, there could have been more, but you know, whatever. Podcasts, I don't have any. Doing my morning walks, I really want to listen to podcasts because I love to habit stack. I love to do something productive on top of something productive. So when I'm on my walks, I would love to have some like self-help podcasts, financial podcasts. So if anyone has any recommendations, always taking podcast recommendations. Creators, it's very rare that I find new creators, honestly. I feel like I am a creature of habit when it comes to my creators, and I have like probably like 10 people that I just consistently watch. One of them who I have mentioned her before, but relatively new. This is probably my newest creator I've been watching on YouTube, Morgan Peterson. She lives in Wilmington, North Carolina. I love my North Carolina girls. She's a nurse. I think she's super productive. She has her shit together. I really enjoy watching her. She was big on TikTok and then she's come over to YouTube now. That's always fun to me when the TikTokers become YouTubers. Recipes, I've made it 3 times in the month of October. I'm calling it Fall in a Bowl. I'll link the recipe down below, but it's this delicious bowl with kale, brown rice, sweet potato, goat cheese, chicken, balsamic vinaigrette, almonds. It's absolutely delicious. So I will link the recipe down below. I also made it in a vlog, my last vlog. Feel free to go check that out. Products, I don't have anything crazy new, but I really do like the Merit bronzer stick. I wasn't sure about it at first because it does blend out extremely easy. If you prefer heavier products and heavier makeup, I don't know if you'll like it, but as someone who likes natural makeup, I really do like the Merit bronzer. It's buildable, so if you need more color, you can add it. It's a balm texture, which is unique. It's not creamy, it's more balmy, but it blends out beautifully. Merit has quickly become one of my top favorite brands. I really like a lot of their products. And lastly, activities or habits that I've been enjoying. Something that I set a goal to carry into November, but I've been experimenting with the tea before bed. And like I said, I just think it's such a warm, cozy habit to bring into the winter. It helps you sleep. My sleep has been pretty good lately. I wonder if it's the tea. So that was definitely something that I started kind of towards the end of October, but that I'm really, really enjoying. And with that, I am ready to bring in November. I feel like we have a lot of really good goals for November, a lot of really exciting videos. I'm really excited to be out of my down bad slump that was September and a lot of October. I'm really happy that that feels behind me and I'm ready to move into a new month. Thank you guys as always for watching and sticking around. And with that being said, I'll see you all so very soon in my next video, which will be our winter lock-in.